Hello traders, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I will be backtesting a strategy which I came with. It's a strategy which I developed for myself and I feel like it's worth sharing, and it's profitable. It's a very profitable strategy on which I actually trade the breakouts and the retests, and I have a continuation system as well as a half retracement trading strategy. And on this strategy I actually record everything, like the time, the date, and the amount, as well as the profits. You will see as time goes how I conduct this strategy. So I'll be trading gold and I'll be backtesting gold. So yeah, let's begin. The first thing I do is I mark the lows if we are on a downtrend, and I mark the highs if we are like on an uptrend. And here, this is actually where my trading day begins. So I usually begin trading at around, you can check the time here, 8 a.m. and we will start on Monday 6 November to backtest this strategy. As you can see, even here I have Monday 6 November. So let's go. What I do is, as I said, I mark the lows which have been recently broken, because I actually trade the breaks. So what I do is I actually do not hesitate, because I'm a scalper and I trade on a 5-minute chart, and when I see that the lows are the ones which are getting broken, my mind automatically looks for sells or selling opportunities. So I'm looking for selling opportunities, and as my trading session begins here, I can see there was a push of these green candlesticks, and immediately there was red candlesticks. So let's say I'm beginning to trade and I look for short positions which are selling opportunities. I will actually look for closures, a closure of red candlesticks. So my session begins like here, but then as it begins, I'm seeing I'm seeing green candlesticks here, and after some time I get a red candlestick. As you can see, immediately when I see a red candlestick, then at the closure of it, the next candle that comes in, I'll place my selling trade, and I use a fixed risk to reward ratio of risk of 300 ticks and profit of 370 ticks. You see, I don't mind. As a trader, you can't win like all of your trades. If I get stopped out like this, I don't mind taking a loss, because I know my analysis is actually good, and I will continue, especially if I am below this here, this trend line here. I will continue to look for selling opportunities even after getting stopped out. As you can see here, I've got stopped out, and then I was stopped out by the green candlestick. What I do is immediately I continue to place. I actually wait patiently to wait for a closure of the red candlestick that you can see here. Unless if you want me to zoom a bit, if you can't see, let me zoom a bit. So you can see here, this is actually a green candlestick that stopped me out, but immediately it's still showing me some rejections. I actually wait for red candlestick closures, so that I can continue. And then what I do is, after the closure, The next one, as you can see, was a green one. But after the closure of the red candlestick, I place another trade, and I stick to the risk to reward ratio of the same ratio, like 300 to 370, in order to be consistent, because this is a strategy which requires consistency, and if you can stick on it, you can make your money back. You can make all of your losses back if you stick to this strategy without using emotions. This strategy actually assists you in not using emotions. So as soon as I get a profitable trade, I immediately go for a continuation. Let's say I get like I enter. Actually, as soon as I enter a trade like this, what I do is I put in a sell stop, a stop order. So I place in a stop order so that whenever I hit TP, because I usually place a stop order, that's the first thing that I do. And then the second option is to place a sell stop just half. I'm actually targeting the half, as you can see here. This is the half of my previous stop loss, because price actually moves in halves every time. So the half of here will be here. But what I do first is I aim for the half. I aim for the target first before the half, and then I watch how the trade goes before I place the half. If I get triggered as I hit the target, then I immediately repeat the same process again. And usually I trade from 8, as you saw there on my on the beginning of on my markings here. This is 8 a.m. I trade from 8 a.m. until 5. So let's check where 5 is at. So I trade until 5. So yeah, let's say I trade until this time, 5. And what I do is let's say I'm not around here. Let's say I'm not around from 5. I'm not around the chart, and then I get back to the chart at 6:30, 18:30. That's the time on which I get back to the chart. But after placing a trade, as I told you, I place an order so that whenever, let's say I'm not around and my TP get hit, then I place an order here, and then it gets triggered and continues, so that when I come back to the chart, I can continue trading where I left my trading session. So let me zoom a bit so you can see here. So what I do again is I repeat the same process. I stop it around, I leave some triggers at around 11, because that's about the time where I go to bed. I go to sleep. I go to sleep at around 11, 23 o'clock here. So I leave some triggers again. But when I'm unable to monitor the trade, what I do is I leave a trigger. I deliberately leave a gap like this here. There's a reason for leaving this gap here, because I want to be triggered like properly without being faked out. So if I'm not around, I don't place the half order. I don't place the order for the half trade. What I do is I place a trigger for the TP so that it continues. So I placed multiple triggers because when I'm not around, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And that's a reason why I consistently do the same thing over and over again, so that when it's on some days it doesn't go my direction, then I know that I gained something. I took advantage of the winning trades. So that's the strategy. As you can see, I got a loss here, and I followed the chart patterns, which were telling me that the structure is actually breaking the lows, and especially if it's not breaking the highs here, I'm still looking for selling opportunities just below here and below also this line here. I continue to look for selling opportunities, and then what happens is I take the trades which I placed and I do my calculations. As you can see, this trade was taken at around 0815. Then I come here, I do my calculations, 0815, and you know the stop loss is actually 300. So I will have a negative 300 here. So I already populated everything. As you can see, it's showing my losses, and if I'm on profits, it will show my profits. And then the second one was a trade at you can see here 10:30. So at 10:30 it was a win, and my profit taking levels are 370. So I have a positive 370, which means I had a loss and I had a win, and my profit is 70 ticks. And we continue. We do the same thing for the other trades as well, which I took. As you can see here, this trade was triggered at I was not around, but it was a trigger, so it was triggered at around 1755, and it was a win as well, which means 370 is in my pocket. As you can see, when I'm populating the numbers, my profit is getting updated here because I already have a formula. My overall profit is updated all over because I have a formula already. And then the next one was triggered at around 2240. So we can say 2240. It was way before I went to sleep because my trading session gets completed here. But then I leave some orders so that I get triggered when price continues going downward the same direction. So at 2240 it was a win. I had pocketed 370, and as a scalper I continue to leave triggers. These are the triggers which I have left overnight, and they got triggered perfectly where I positioned them. So this one was triggered at 4:20 a.m. I was still asleep at around this time, and 370 was in my pocket. The next one, and this one was actually before my next session, my next day, where I begin at around 8 a.m. So you can check here, it was 8 a.m. But since the trade was still running, I waited patiently, and then I placed another one here so that I can check what is happening with my trades. So at around 4:20 it was a win, and then at around 9 a.m. I had another win. I pocketed 370. And actually this was, I count this one as my following day, the session on the following day. So we can remove this one here and place it here under Tuesday, because here on Tuesday it's another day. That's where I actually begin the other session. So all in all, I've already pocketed 1,550 from gold, from trading gold, and I will continue to show you the other trades and backtesting this strategy on other videos, because my time for recording this session is depleted. So that's it for this video. This is Eddie, your FX Achiever mentor. Catch me on the next one.